much transactions, and unless we start getting up, several thousand, it may not be smart to have
We're
that.
just keeping the books and the
Just
cash
keeping the books. Right now
someplace
we have-
safe before you lose it.
Do I?
Keep the cash someplace safe before you lose it.
I got it. Well, I did purchase
No, that's the worst place. What's the
Red
first
box.
page of book?
I do have a new journal in here. And also, what I'd like to do is have a separate person keep up with it on an Excel spreadsheet. So that way we have checks and balances. So, like I said, the only transactions we've had in the last year have been maybe 3 or 4. Okay, so it's not like we have a lot of expenses on there, but when we need things like, I know Brian, when we put the books together, put the Office Depot.
Dual control.
Yeah, that's right, Office Depot. We had the sandwich boards that Mary Kay got us. So they are things periodically, and we may need some things when we finish our exercise tonight. Okay? So before we get started, let's go ahead and stand and face the flag and have the pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll have a couple of committee reports. I'll go ahead and turn it over to Brian.
Hey guys, so mine's going to be short and sweet. Number one, we have some new block captains. If you'll please stand, we have Michael and Marcy Grimes. They're back on Stony Brook. And a good addition. Also, they have a lot of medical experience. So, if things get kind of swirly and we need some medical people, they're a resource, even though their primary responsibility is going to be as block captains. With a resource like that, we may say, hey, can you guys go over to wherever and help out? So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see, is John, I'm not going to get the last name correct, it starts with the P.
Prezioso.
Yes, are you guys here?
No, he's not. here.
Okay, they officially came on, they're on board, I can't recall, I think they are on Celebration Way.
That's correct.
Celebration Way is a big, big street too, kind of like Stony Brook, Aurora. We have a whole section that had no block captains for the longest of time. Anna how do you say her last name?
The Prezioso, I know.
Right, but they, who used to be the person that was gonna handle that. Anna, yeah,
Alvana,
yes,
Annie.
Annie. She had that section. It didn't really get covered on the initial get-go, and then she moved to a different location in the community. I think she's up off of Aurora somewhere, if I remember correctly. And then we are looking at, we've got Jeanette and Paul sent me over another gentleman and his wife. I can't recall their names. I still need to reach out to them. They are also in the Celebration Way. So suddenly we may have two teams of block captains covering an area that never have had block captains yet. So that's a good win. Is it Ethel? Are you back on Celebration Way as well? You've got a huge territory back there. You and who's the other block captain that's in here? Loretta. Man, I wish I could get you guys some help, and that way, if we ever have to activate that 60 minutes, the golden hour after somebody suffers a trauma, the people that are near the end of your running up and down the street trying to check doors and see if people are home and if anyone needs help. The situation is there could be a lot of people. It's going to be a long time before anyone's going to knock on their door, So I wish I could get you guys some help. Know that I will continue pushing, trying to get new people back in there for you guys. I'm sorry? Right, we have Christine and Milton. They live over on Carl Street, if I remember correctly. And
Yeah, they're just my neighbors.
just the neighbors. They've been very active in helping out with different tasks. I pushed to see if I could get them to come on as block captains to help Linda out. So far, no go, but I don't give up easily. Christine has taken on these kind of like the note-taking, a secretary, if you will, to take meeting notes. She's over there diligently doing it right now. Yes, give her the clap. So, and then we just recently approached her because we have also, in addition to the monthly meetings that you folks attend, we also have a leadership meeting once a month where the chairs for the different steering committees, we sit down and kind of go through what's coming up, what the status is on the different things that are coming up in the coming months. And so she has graciously agreed to also do the secretary minutes notes of the leadership meeting too. So we're really, really thankful. Thank you, Christine. Appreciate you. Other than that, one of the topics that recently came up, I'm sorry?
Woody and Jean Clark are new also.
You are? Are you signed on as block captains?
Yes.
Okay,
And we get notices that we're block captains.
okay. Well, trust me, I apologize that I'm drawing a blank on that.
Illumination.
Okay.
So we're working with her.
Oh, Jean, okay, I was thinking separate. Right, we got a whole team going on with Olivia. She's wrangled, also, is it Barbara?
Barbara's moved.
Beverly?
Nancy Slaughter.
Nancy. I knew if I said enough names, you'd just take over and tell me what it really is. So, yes, thank you very much for coming on. I really, really do appreciate it. And I'm so sorry. In my mind, I'm running 1,000 miles an hour, it seems like, all the time. So I do apologize, but thank you very much. The help is greatly appreciated, okay? You can just kick me in the shin later. That's okay. I won't take offense. One of the latest topics that we've been discussing, and you saw in a couple of surveys, thank you for those that took the 38 seconds was the average time to take the latest poll, folks, for whether or not we might be moving meeting times. Now, I do have the report. I do have some concerns, and it's based upon the comments. You guys were able to write any comments, thoughts on, on the whole proposal to move to a different time. 58% move it to the Mondays, the third Monday of the month at 3 to 5 p.m. My concern was the number of comments that people said that they're working still. So that means they will never be here. They will never have that opportunity. For us who are meeting at 6:30 on a Tuesday night, it's more of an inconvenience. We kind of all schedule around it somehow. It'd be really, really nice if everybody's schedule would allow that. But, no decisions have been made. I'm just shooting from the hip here, folks. My major concern is we would lose some people just because they physically can't be here. They can't make it at the middle of the day. They're working. So, I think it needs some thought on that. I don't know whether or not I need to dive into the demographic poll. It seems a little overkill to me at this point. But as we're thinking about moving those times, I think we should think about the impact on how that affects us. And the people who did then respond were the block captains, the radio folks, the medical folks. These are our core people. The other 680 people that are, they filled out paperwork, so they get an email from me now, just kind of updating on what's going on in the club. They didn't vote too much, and it doesn't really affect them. If they're not actively showing up at meetings, well, then it doesn't really matter to them what time we meet, because they're not coming anyway. They just want somebody to knock on their door if we get a tornado ripping through here. By the way, we got rough weather coming up. I think it's this coming weekend. Yeah, Thursday, Friday, we could have some rough weather. Did everyone get the text I sent out for the last go around earlier in the week? Is that a good system for y'all?
Yes.
Or is it a pain in the butt that you get a text from me?
No, I like it.
Okay, all right, I'll go with that's a good
I got
idea.
it 4 times.
I've added you now. You guys weren't in my, my list quite yet, but I have put you into my list.
Thank you.
He
I'm sorry?
makes it too
You have to
scary.
get them on your list.
Yeah, Gene, you got it, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, yeah, I took care of business and then kind of put a bow on it and put it away for, you know, on my tasks, of what I'm currently working on. But I try to make sure one thing after the other, get it all done, and then I'm done with that. So, anything else? I can't think of anything else. Any questions? Any questions? Now's a good time. I relinquish.
Okay, again, we have put out an 18-month training schedule. We want to try to lock in 90 days out, so anything that's beyond that, if there's something we need to move up, just voice your concern or something of that way, then we have the flexibility. Next month is the first time we've ever tried to do a potluck, and we're off.
Party on, Garth.
And we're also gonna have, a representative from Lake County, Disaster Preparedness from Tavares come over. I'm not sure which one, Melody is the director, and there's a guy named David is the vice director over there, so I should have that information hopefully by the end of the week. We can, you know, send that out probably at that point. But, again, I hope you'll be able to have time for it, just a chance just to relax and enjoy each other's company, and at the same time, maybe have some benefit to understanding how our county supports what we do. Jeanette, you want to talk anything about the potluck?
Hi, I'm Jeanette Kelly. My husband Paul and I are the data chairs and do the database and have for many years now. As Larry said, but first I'd like to say thank you to all you newbies, as I call you, because the newbies are really stepping up and doing things. And let me tell you, it's been amazing what the new people are turning in as far as the new block captains. You guys are doing amazing. You're keeping me busy, sometimes as many as 6 a day, and that's pretty important. But Larry talked about the potluck that he instigated, and we're very happy to say that that is on our next normal meeting date, which will be December 7th, that's our Tuesday, and it will be at 6:30. There is a sign-up sheet in the hallway outside of the card room. You know, you pass the library and the card room, but it's on the outside there. And there are actually 2 sheets, one for you to sign up on. And the reason we ask you to sign up as soon as possible is because there will be limited seating. And we're telling you, like say if you are a member and your spouse or significant other is not, you of course would want to bring them, but we're telling you, if you know someone that isn't active or interested, see if they might want to come and see what Neighbor to Neighbor is about. And it's a potluck. And so you'll sign up for a main dish or a salad or a vegetable or a dessert. And you would bring, obviously, one per couple. We're educating Brian on potlucks. He's never had one, so he's very excited about coming to a potluck. We're going to really give him a tough time because he's going to experience something wonderful. If you've never been to a potluck, then you are in for a great, wonderful surprise. So if anybody has any questions about the potluck or any of that, if you want to get in touch with the Kellys, we're the only K-E-L-L-Y in the book, so you can call us or email us or text us or whatever. Just text Jeanette, not Paul. He doesn't text. And the other thing is that
Doesn't want to.
Pat Kruger, a very valuable block captain, is leaving the community and has had to resign from the Neighbor to Neighbor Club. And so at Larry's suggestion, he got a beautiful thank you card, which is right there. And if you haven't signed it and would like to sign it, please do so, and I will have this, and we will present it to Pat when she comes to the potluck as a guest of the Kellys. So you'll get a chance to even say thank you in person. She's been a really valuable asset to us. I think that's all I have, unless someone has a question about, you want to know what you need to bring?
About how many people have already signed up, Jeanette?
26, but one person has a question mark. So I know there are going to be 2, because it was 2 people with a question mark, but they're probably thinking about bringing somebody. So we only have about 26, but it is limited. And like Larry said, we're going to have some very nice speakers. And my right hand over there, Carmen Hosman, has agreed to help me to kind of make sure that everything looks nice. So, we'll be working very hard to make this a very nice evening. And you can see what it says, and you are getting blasts from Brian telling you about it. So if you would like to have a bottle of wine or something, feel free to bring it. You know how it is here. We all bring our own bottles. Okay? BYOB. I think that's all unless you have questions.
Something nice.
Thank you. Hold on, looks like we do have a question. Do we have a question? No.
Or maybe more.
Okay.
Okay, let's get into the meat of what we're trying to do today. We met with some of the medical personnel about two and a half weeks ago. Right now, they have a green bag, and it's a green bag that's just packed full of stuff. So if you try to get into those things, you'd be, taking a little bit of time to finding what you have. My recommendation is that we create a first aid bag and a trauma bag. The red bags are the trauma bags. And then, of course, the first aid is for minor stuff and cuts, and that way it's real easy to get in there and try to do that. So we got these set up on each table. Is Sherry Brown here?
She couldn't make it.
Okay, well, she's lucky. The first table we created, so she didn't have to pack anything.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's good. Now, when you get to the table, you'll find two inventory sheets. The yellow sheet is the medical first aid kit.
Bless you.
Oh, medical first aid kit, that's in the yellow. Just follow the inventory of that, and that's what we're gonna create our new kits. Now, if there's something that's not on the table that can go in the kit, just make a notation, for example, steri strips. Well, maybe we don't have those. We'll just circle it and make a note in the column, status, none. And we'll get those, and then at the very bottom, we want to put the name of the person who's going to have the medical bags. I do have that, and we'll go around and jot that information down for you. The white inventory sheet is the trauma bags. Now, some of the stuff we'll have, for example, splint. This is a roll-out balloon type splint that could wrap around an arm with an ace bandage and be able to wrap it up and hold it still. I have one in these bags. I only have 4. So just be mindful of, I'll get the 2 that are short. Not a problem there. Same thing with tourniquets. We didn't have any tourniquets in any bag, so we got some of those. I think we have enough for 1 tourniquet per bag for this evening. Now, Carl has recommended we come up with at least 2 at some point. So we will order the additional tourniquets, and that way we can have those at a future date and get back to the team they have. Now, we're gonna split up into 16s, and I'll just have everybody number off. Section 1, we're not gonna have to worry about right here. So we're gonna set up 16s, and I'll just go ahead and start. Well, okay, let me have the medical people
Yeah,
stand
medical
up.
people stand.
Okay, why don't y'all come on over here for right now?
Introduce themselves, because we got
Carl.
some new people.
Carl Apple.
What section, Carl?
4.
Jim.
McDonald, section 3.
Elaine Dawson, section 2.
Here we go.
Oh, Phyllis Walsh, I think section 4.
Okay. Well, your name is on the table, so y'all go ahead and go over to one of the tables. I will be also able to help out because I helped create these bags here. So we'll go number 1 through 6. Let's start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll be number 1. You won't, you'll be, okay.
Or do you want to do them by sections?
Well, I don't know whether you be number 1.
How many section 1 people are here? Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand high. Just one medical in section 1. Section 2, anyone from section 2?
up there.
You got a couple.
I didn't bring them.
Yeah, we're not talking about medical, we're talking about block captains and radio folks now. So only a couple people. I'd say send them to the table and then we can.
Okay, let's try to get at least 3 to 4 people on each table, except for the very first tier. And then we'll go through this, we'll help you with the inventory list, and we'll put the particular item in the bags, okay? Question?
You want precinct or whatever,
Section.
Section.
section, to go to the table with the section in.
Yes, let's start with
Right,
that.
start with that. And if we need to move some people around, like at least 3 or 4 people minimum per table. And if you want to look at the first section here, you can get an idea of exactly what's in these bags. Again, the yellow sheet is the first aid, and the white sheet. This is some of your stuff. Okay. Well, let's set it aside, try to get it out as much as possible.
So what I would recommend is that, you look on the list and go find somebody and then bring it to me. Make sense?
Typically,